Hello, I'm Perexian and welcome to Songs of Conquest. So Songs of Conquest is a strategy game, kinda like a spiritual successor to the Heroes of Might and Magic series, but they have definitely made their own identity with some of the interesting mechanics they have added to the game. The game will launch into full release on May the 20th, so I thought it would be a very good time to actually make somewhat of a strategy guide for this game. My plan is to play through a single player map and explain all of the mechanics and some of the general strategy you're going to use to defeat the AIs at the more difficult difficulties. So, of course, this is probably going to be something I'm going to gloss over or not explain fully. So if something is unclear, feel free to leave a comment down below and I'll make sure to answer it. Alright, so let's just go to Conquest, which is where we create the single player maps. And here we have a few different choices. We have the handcrafted maps, which made by the developers, which are pretty neat. Then we have the challenge maps, which are kind of like a puzzle where you need to figure out how to get through it and how to win. Then we have the random maps where we can generate infinite amounts of maps, and this is what we're going to be playing. So we can generate everything from 2 to 8 players here, but I think we're going to go with the 2 players balanced here. And we can pick a few different layouts for this one, but I think the Vortex is pretty good for this one. It has a moderate size and hopefully it will allow me to explain everything for this game. Alright, so we're now ready here, and we have one AI player here, and we should probably look into the difficulty for the AIs. So there are 7 difficulties here in Songs of Conquest, and you start out at Fair, which is a pretty good level to start out when you haven't played this game a lot. But I think we're going to return here to the main menu, because this is another very neat thing with this game, is that if we go here to Extras, we can find the tutorials and codex. And here is information on everything in this game. First of all, we have the tutorials, but we have also a list of all the wielders, we have all the troops, we have buildings, we have artifacts. So everything is here, so if there's something you want to look up, just go to the tutorials and codex. We're going to have a look here at the tutorials tab, and all the way down here there is an AI difficulty. So here we can see the actual changes to each level for the AI. And as you can see here is the fair difficulty. So fair difficulty actually reduces some of the income for the AI opponents, and actually reduces their movement as well. So they're a bit, handicapped, I guess, that's the word. But it's pretty nice to start out, because you're obviously not going to be playing perfectly the first few times, because you don't know the game yet. So no shame in that. Then we have the worthy difficulty here, where we have this basically even playing field here. The AI has access to the same stuff as you. But we're going to be playing on one level above that, which is challenging. So they're going to get some extra income, they're going to have some extra starting resources, and they're also going to be able to move a little bit further. We can continue going up here to the more difficult ones, but the AI pretty soon gets very difficult to defeat, especially on the smaller map. So I think challenging is a pretty good sweet spot, at least for me. So let's jump into this Vortex. Okay, so select the AI and we're going to set them to challenging. Alright, so now we need to set up ourselves here, and because there is a new campaign with the 1.0 release of this game, which covers Barya. We're going to be playing Barya for today, because I think that's the faction everybody is hyped for right now, and so I think it's a pretty good opportunity for that. And then I'm going to be playing as yellow, just because I like that color. Alright, then we have all of the 9 wielders to pick from here, and you can always just pick the one you like. If you have a certain strategy in mind, feel free to pick that one. But whenever I play on this channel, I always go with random starting heroes here, because it's more fun to come up with strategies on the spot. And let's see here. I'm going to set the AIs to Loth, just because I don't want to have a mirror match here, so just to have some different variety here, we're going to have the AI play something different. We have the game settings down here before we start, where we can set up if we want to change anything with this. It can generate it in a few different ways. If you want to make it completely fair, we can actually disable the random events. So there are some random events which only the human player actually gets. But so if you think that is annoying or too much of an advantage, we could always disable it here. But I'm just going to go with the regular default settings and start generating the map. So let's see what kind of map we will get here. I really like these different loading screens they have added to this game. So since we're playing Barya, we get the Barya loading screen. It's a pretty cool one. Alright, so let's see what kind of map we get. Alright, oh, okay, this is a really nice layout, I think. Okay, perfect. So, first of all, the thing we need to figure out is what is the strategy right now. So, we should probably have a look at the wielder we started with. So, let's double click on him. And here we can see that every wielder has a specialty. And this has Chaos Essence, which means that he's stronger at using the Chaos spells in this game. So we might want to actually use some of the stuff which helps out with the spells. Alright, so because we started with a spellcasting wielder, I think we should probably explain how the spellcasting works in this game right away. So we're going to first go to here, we have the spells here. So here are all the spells in the game. You don't need any buildings or anything to unlock the spells, you just know every spell as long as you have the essence, you can cast it. So we have up here, we have the 5 different schools. Every faction has 3 different schools, and Barya has Order, Chaos and Destruction to pick between. And as you can see here, we have +5 in Chaos and 1 in Destruction. And that is actually depends on the types of troops we're bringing. Because we have some Dreths here and some Tinkerers, we actually generate some extra essence from this. So if you look at the stats for the troops here, this says Essence and this says Chaos and Destruction. So every time a troop gets to take their action, they will generate their essence, and that is gathered into the mana pool, and we can then use it to cast different spells. And our hero starts out with the Chaos Magic level 1 here, which means that the hero, or the wielder I should say, the wielder themselves generate 2 Chaos Essence every round. And they also have the specialization, so we generate 1 extra per round. And thanks to that, we generate 5 Chaos Essence every round. And we can store up and cast multiple spells at the same time if we want to, as long as we can afford them. But right now we're definitely going to be able to be using the Chaos spells a lot more since we have some essence in that. So we definitely want to focus on some of the troops which generate Chaos essence, and I think it's these 2. But since it's the easiest way to look it up is just go to options here and then go to the tutorial codex. We can check the units here and we scroll down to Barya. And we can quickly just thumb through all of this and we can see the different essences we get from here. And looks like, yeah, it's like we have the Tinkerers, which generates some Chaos Essence and Destruction Essence. And it's the Dress, which generates some Chaos Essence. So if you want more Chaos Essence, those are the troops we want to have. Also, if we want to generate more, we need more troop slots instead. So if I were to split this one up into 2 stacks, and I hover here, now it says that I generate 3 essence from troops, since every single stack generates their own essence. So the more troop slots we have, the more essence we can generate. But right now we're only a level 1 wielder, and we start out with command skill 3. Which means that we can only bring 3 troop stacks with us. So if we want to cast more spells, we definitely want to increase our command, so we can have more stacks, which generates more essence, which means more spells. Alright, so with that out of the way, I think the spell system will probably get much clearer once we actually get into the fights. But it's good to know what our wielder is specializing into, so we can at least start building our strategy from there. Alright, so let's have a look at our town here. We start out with a city. So there are a few different levels of towns. There are cities which can go all the way up to tier 5. There are some fortresses as well, which also goes to 5. But then we have smaller towns like settlements and small settlements, which can only go up to tier 2 or tier 3. And sometimes when you create these random maps, you can actually get a starting town which is just a settlement, which makes the whole map very interesting, since you can't really do whatever you want with it, and you need to find other places to expand into. Alright, so from here we can recruit more wielders. However, we have a wielder cap in this game, and if we want more wielders, we need to upgrade our towns or capture more towns. So right now we're stuck with one wielder, which is why really it's kind of important to know what your first wielder is actually all about, so we can start building him up. In order to upgrade our city, we need to gather enough stone or wood, and this amount, the gold is the same for all factions, but the amount of stone and wood is different for every faction. So some factions prefer more stone and some prefer more wood. And Barya is one of those which needs more stone, so we could actually afford to just upgrade this one straight away, since we started with some resources here. And that would increase our gold income from 500 to 1000 per round. And it would also create some more build sites here. So this game is more about building the town outside your main citadel here. And from here you can build a whole lot of different buildings. So we have a few different sizes as well. So we currently have a medium build site here. And I think we have 4 small build sites. And in the small build site we can build a few different things. We have the first 2 troops of every faction as the same here. Then on the medium we have 5 more troops to choose between. And then there is a large, which we can find the final and 8th troop on there. Alright, but right now we basically have a whole bunch of small build sites and 1 medium build site. And we can look here to see if what we need to level up to the tier 3, which would increase our income by 500 more, and will also give us more build sites. So this is how we get more build sites and more gold income. This is kind of like building the capital on in Heroes. Alright, so we need a bunch of gold and a bunch of stone to actually do this. So we might be going around and picking some of those up. Alright, and we should probably look into what kind of troops. So if we want more drafts, we probably do want some drafts at least. We will need some gold and some stone. And then we should probably have a look here into which kind of troops we want to go with here in the medium, because a lot of your early strategy depends on which of these you're going to be running. And we want the Tinkerers, since we started with them and they have Chaos and Destruction Essence on them. And you can see here that if we build a tier 1, it will cost us this much, and it will produce 2 Tinkerers per round, which we can buy. And then if we go to tier 2, we also need to have a sawmill actually, if we want to upgrade. So we'll need to at least build 1 sawmill to actually be able to upgrade that. But we should probably mix these with something else. So I'm thinking that maybe we'd go with the Harima guys here, because they have Destruction Essence with them. Could be pretty nice. And in order to build them, we actually need a Piper's Post as well. So they might be a bit tricky to get everything to working here, and if we want to upgrade them we also need a stone pit, so maybe not the best combination here. I should probably have a quick look here, because there are some spells which requires multiple essences, types of essences here, and right now since we can earn both Chaos and Destruction, we have access to all of these as well, and we can unlock some of these once we get the Order Essence as well. And so we might want to go there. to just grab the humans for now. Could actually be pretty good. You know what? Okay, so I'm probably going to make this the simplest. Okay, so one of the easiest strategies is just pick one of the groups. So every faction consists of 2 different groups, and this time it's the humans and Harimas. So I'm just going to go with running humans in that case, because we have these guys and it's simple to just merge them with the other humans. So if I want to build these guys, I need some gold and some wood, and we're also going to need a shop. And these guys need a bit of those and a sawmill. Alright, so I think we should actually start out with some dress if I can. So let's just start moving then. And grab some stone. Okay, and now I just need some gold. Which direction should I head in? Should probably head it up, actually. Oh well. Let's just go here and grab the gold. Okay, so we can build this. And the building of a building takes a few rounds. Or it depends on the size, of course. So the small buildings takes a single round. We can just hover over the town down here and it says 1 round until it's complete. Medium takes 2 and large takes 3 rounds. Alright, so we have somewhat of a build strategy going for us here. So now we need to figure out how to actually start advancing with our hero here. And there are a few different things I want to grab here. First of all, this is a really nice building to get because this gives you extra gold per round. So we definitely want to go grab that. This is actually an exploring building. Could be pretty nice to see, so we can see a bit around us. Alright, but these tents here. The tents are one of the strongest item picks up here early on in the game. Because this is a way to get troops for free, and getting troops for free is a very good way to accelerate your whole or just whole progress, I should say. If you can quickly assemble some sort of army, you can already start clearing and level up your wielder quickly. So we might be head in that direction, but I think we should just grab the Farseer vessel here. Because information is really useful to have. I grab that artifact for now, and we're all out of movement, so I think I'm just going to end the turn here, and once I'm going to go here. Oh, okay. Okay, so these are the events, which just randomly happens and can give you a positive or negative effect for a few rounds or just some resources, but most of the times it's actually useful stuff here. So we actually get a bonus to our defense, initiative and troop movement for 2 rounds. It's pretty nice. Alright, so let's visit the blacksmith here. And all buildings, I should say, all the pickups and buildings here are actually sorted into a few different categories. So if you hover over this one, it says power. This is a way to make your wielder stronger. And then we have these, which just says riches, which is resources for your town. Or yeah, for your faction. And then finally we have sources of knowledge, which means that it's a way to gain experience for your wielder. But let's just grab that and let's go into this. Okay, so here let's start explaining the stats of the hero. So we have our equipment here, and all the equipment comes in a few different rarities. We have the white, which is the common and the worst ones. And then we have, then it goes up to green, blue, and purple and orange. So it's basically the default MMORPG rarity coloring. But it's pretty nice, so you can see actually how strong they are. So right now we just have 2 generic or basic artifacts, which gives us offense. So here we have I should probably go over the stats of the hero. So every hero has a few starting stats, which actually stays the same during the whole game. And you can find different skills or buildings and artifacts to increase these. So first of all, we have offense and defense. And it basically increases your damage dealt and reduces the damage taken. So the damage is calculated by adding the offense and then subtracting the defense, and that many percentage difference. More or less damage are you dealing to your opponent. And then we have movement, and this is like the most important stat in the whole game. The more movement you have, the more you can do in a turn. And the more you can do in a turn, the faster you can expand and level up your heroes. So this is really important. Every time you see something which increases your movement, you should definitely go for it. Unless it's skills, perhaps. I think the skills might be more useful. But hey, if you think the movement is great, is useful, then it is useful for you. They have view radius, and it's kind of interesting how they decide to do with the view radius. Because this determines how many spaces away from you can see the map. And it also determines how far away you can stand before you can actually see how difficult the fight is. So these guys are too far away, which is why I can't really see them, or how difficult they are, how many are. If I go and grab this, this will actually start give some view around as well. And we can actually see now how many of these guys are hanging around here. And get the threat level. So these buildings also generate their own view radius, which is why this is now enough for me to actually see this. And so if the wielder has enough view distance or view radius, then you can see how strong you are compared to the opponents. If you have even more view radius, you also get to see the starting formation of their opponents as well, which is pretty useful actually for structuring your troops in battle. But alright, we now know what's down here. We have a source of power there, we have another source of power, and we have a mine here which generates some of the amber here. Let's see here, I haven't even gone over the resources yet, but sure. We have the gold is the basic resource, of course, and then we have stone and wood, which are used almost for all of the buildings. These are the basic resources, and you can find a lot of it lying around. Then we have the 3 special resources, Glimmerweave, we have Ancient Amber, and Celestial Ore. And these are very important throughout the whole game, because depending on which troops you're actually going to try to get, you need different types of these special resources as well. So if you're on a map which only has a bunch of amber, for example, maybe you actually go with the troops that actually benefits from amber instead of trying to force a build into using celestial ores or something like that. Which is really interesting, because that could mean that you can have multiple different strategies with the same faction, just depending on the different resources we found. But right now I don't think we really need to think too hard about which resources we're going to be using. We haven't gotten that far yet, and we don't even know what's around on this map, so we'll see how it goes. Alright, so we should probably continue forward. Okay, so I can see another farmhouse here which could give us some more gold income. And it wasn't super interesting stuff here, but maybe I just loop around up here and grab this camp here with some troops. So let's just pick up some gold, and these are pretty neat. I got some glimmer gloves. Oh, they are blue. That is pretty good stuff. Which gives me 25% spell damage resistance. Okay. And so maybe not that useful against neutral troops, since they're not going to have a wielder which can use spells. But definitely useful for fighting our opponent. These 2 buildings have temporary bonuses, so I'm going to skip those. Fey Offering Tree. Oh right, there's something I need to pay for, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. So let's skip that for now. I just want to get some troops so I can start actually fighting. Alright, so now I need... Right, we needed 10 more stone and a bunch of gold. Okay, well I need a lot of gold right now, so probably not going to happen there. Let's see here. So if we were going humans, we are going to need a shop in the future. So I think I'm just going to set up a shop over here, which gives me some extra gold income. If you really need stone and wood, you can actually build buildings which start to generate those as well. So let's just grab that. Also, almost every building can be upgraded. So if I just hover here, I can select and upgrade the building. And upgrading, like the main town, or a building is free, it doesn't cost a turn, and or building as a building actually takes a few turns. So since I'm now currently building, I can't really build anything else, unfortunately. So there is an upgrade later on where you can actually start building multiple buildings at the same time just to speed up things, but not something we can have access to in our first town. Alright, the shop is done, and I can actually spend a bunch of wood and ancient amber to double the gold income from 150 to 300. But we'll see if that's actually needed. I need some gold right now anyway, so let's see here. Should I just start heading up here? Okay, let's see what we find here. Okay, well, I mean, I hope you recognize those. Those are the highest tiers of troops in the Barya. Some gold, some wood, and some stone from the burning pot. Alright, finally we can find some troops. Okay, so 14 pikeneers, okay. And let's just pull these over there so we can get this. Okay, well, it looks like this is going to be much too difficult for me for a bit longer. Okay, so I haven't found any other mines so far. But hopefully with those we have enough now. And this also unlocked all of the order spells. So we have a whole bunch of spells to pick from here. We're probably going to be looking into it once we get into battle. Alright, I think it's time to start building the mercenaries quarter now. It's important to not fall too far behind on the troops. We want to be able to just continuously fighting and advancing our hero. Okay, so that's guarded, but let's just go grab this. 600 gold. Okay, so how close do we need to go to actually see how strong they are? There we are. Okay. And as for threat levels, we have a few different threat levels here, and green is the easiest one. I think that is insignificant and simple. Those you should almost always be able to win without any losses, I think. And then when you go to yellow, and then we have fair. So I definitely recommend taking fair fights and down, unless you're confident in your strategy. Once you feel like you have a pretty good strategy, you can definitely go with the risky ones as well, which are also yellow colored. And then there is the orange ones, which are worthy, and then you have the red ones, which is just futile. Alright, and let's see here. I definitely want to take this fight. Okay, but the shamans are ranged troops, which is quite annoying right now, I have to say. Not getting that much destruction essence either. Oh well, I guess we're going to have to do our best. I could grab this one. This one gives me 1 extra essence of their chosen essence type. So this is power, or destruction. So we gain 1 extra destruction essence per round. I think it could be useful to have. So let's just grab it for this fight. So now we generate 2 destruction essence per round. Alright, so here we have an option here to drag our troops around, and we can see that our opponents are going to be placing themselves here in the middle. So we should probably be close enough as well, because there's a bunch of shamans which are ranged troops, so we would just want to get through here as soon as possible. If we actually did mess up, we could always just click here and withdraw. The only penalty is that we spent 1 move to initiate the battle, I think. I'm pretty sure that was actually costed. Okay, I'm actually going to try that one out. No, okay, it doesn't actually cost us anything. Alright, so if you forgot to move something or like split your troops in a certain way or so, and the like, you can just withdraw for free. It's pretty nice. You don't accidentally click on the fight. You have no chance of winning. Then we have quick battle. You can always just do a quick battle and have the AI fight for you to speed things up, and some of the easier battle is just better to do it. But if you're not happy with the AI, you can always just do a manual battle instead. So let's just jump into the battle. Alright, let's see here. Okay. So they're just hanging around here in a pile in the middle. Alright. So here we can see all of the essence we have gathered up here on the wielder face here. And down here there is a quick command here for showing all of some of the spells you are able to cast right now. But we're not really able to afford anything, which is why it doesn't show any spells right now. But we can always go here and see everything we can cast. Alright, so when fighting ranged troops, one very important thing is to know that there are two different circles here, as you can see. So we have the deadly range circle, which ends around here for this one. And inside here they deal the full damage. And then we have the second ring here, which is further away, where they deal half damage. Then ranged troops can move in this game, and moving causes them to deal half damage for that round, but they can still move and deal damage. So important to actually take that into consideration. So we're probably going to be losing some troops here since they're ranged units. But let's see if I can actually get all the way over to these guys, so that's good. Alright, so I'm just going to move 2 spaces forward, and you can split up your movement, which is pretty nice. And I'm just going to end my turn. That's the E, that's the short key for that. Alright, yeah, taking some damage here. Oh, this is pretty nice though. I can just cut these off like that. Okay, and as you can see here that there's a huge red zone around here. So the red area is actually called, that's the zone of control. So you might have played similar games or role-playing games where there is a zone of control. So right now I'm inside the zone of control of these two guys, which is what the red circle is indicating. So if I were to move backwards from now, or move to the sides, I would leave an area which is inside the zone of control of an enemy, and they would actually get to make a free attack. So every round they have one free opportunity attack if you just move around, but that goes the same for me as well. So if they were to move away from my dress here, I would actually get the free attack. So right now I actually locked down their ranged guys, which is pretty nice. Alright, well, now we have the dress here, and the dress are pretty interesting. They have quick as their ability, which means that they actually get to retaliate before getting attacked. So since I'm standing here, if the opponents want to attack me, I will be able to retaliate first, which is pretty good actually to be at this point. Alright, so let's just start attacking, I think. And they were kind enough to just move over here. So I could attack them now. And here is the damage calculation. As you can see here, we actually get a bonus for high ground. So since we're standing on high ground, we gain plus 20% damage. So standing on high ground is really important to increase the damage, because the opposite is also true. So since the opponent is fighting from low ground, they would actually deal 20% less damage. And here's also the offense and defense calculation. So since we have 27 more offense than their defense, we will deal 27% more damage. It's simple as that. So let's just fight here. And we should definitely be able to deal enough damage. Okay, so I should... Okay, I can kind of like kill these guys. Okay, let's just move over here. And the spear wheel... the spear guys here has additional range for melee. It's pretty nice ability actually, so hopefully I will be able to kill these. Okay, and let's see here. Sure, I think this should be fine. There we go. Yeah, they tried to attack me and I got to retaliate. Okay, a little bit rough, since there were ranged troops around, but not too bad early on, especially early on before we have actually gotten our strategy going. And we got some experience for that at least. Alright, so now we can claim the farmhouse, which gives us 150 extra gold per round. And I think we need the wood as well. And so now we can upgrade. Okay, I forgot about we actually need some gold. Whoops, okay. Let's just grab the stone and continue moving here. It looks like there's a lot of roads around here actually. So maybe I just move... Oh, okay, there is also a place for us to maybe grab some troops. I definitely should be getting down here to the large camp. Maybe we'll go around and grab some troops back from our town. Could be useful. Alright, the town is still building here, so let's just end the turn. Alright, so we finished the mercenary quarters. So we can now check to see how many troops we produce, and there is a troop information tab here up on the right side where we can click and see what kind of troops we're producing and how many troops we are able to purchase. And right now we have 5 musketeers and 11 drafts to buy, and every round of this game they will produce 2 more for us to buy. However, there's only musketeers here, and this building we're actually supposed to make spear wielders as well. So an important thing is to remember that all the buildings which produce multiple different troops, they have an upgrade you actually need to pay. So I need to pay this upgrade to actually be able to start producing pikeneers in this place. So I'm going to do that. And now if I check the troop overview, I can see that I produce 2 of them every day. So really important to not forget to do. Otherwise you will just start wondering why your troops never show up. Alright, so am I able to actually upgrade this round now? Perhaps. I'm going to grab that gold. And let's see here. Roadsides are pretty nice actually. I get a little bit of experience and I get the movement back. Get 600 gold. I think it should be enough if I grab this pouch here. Oh, okay. Apparently not. Wow, I'm missing 100 gold. Okay, then just go and grab that one then. Here's a gold mine, and gold mines gives 500 extra gold per round in this game. Pretty nice to pick up. Okay, here's a worthy fight. Alright, so now we can finally upgrade, and we get some more spots here, and we also get some better road actually. Increases our movement a little bit. So now we have access to the large building sites, and here we can build our strongest units. We have also access to 2 different upgrade buildings, which we can use to upgrade our troops and our economy. We're going to be looking at those a little bit later once we actually have enough resources to start using them. But getting to tier 3 here of our town is actually a very important milestone, because if you look here now on the left under our wielder, it just says wielders 1 out of 2. So since we got to level 3, or tier 3 I should say, we can now hire a second wielder. However, they cost 3000 gold to hire a new wielder. So we're going to be holding off on that until I can afford it. Okay, so... But it's really useful to grab a second wielder, because as you can see there's so much stuff we need to pick up still around here. And I don't have time to pick up everything with my main wielder. I want to have my main wielder be fighting as much as possible, because I really need experience to level up quickly. So let's just go and grab some troops from here. 14 drafts, nice, okay. Let's see here. Is there anything we want to grab right now? I could see if we could upgrade some of these buildings, but I'm missing some amber unfortunately. And here I'm missing a bunch of glimmerweave. Alright, we are going to need a few more things for this. Especially celestial ore, okay, okay, there were a bunch of celestial ore lying around here. Can I sneak through here? Okay, nice. Okay, then we can see here. We have a fair fight here. Okay, am I close enough? Okay, this is a simple fight, and hopefully this down below should also be a simple fight. So let's just take some of the simpler fights right now. Especially now that I have a whole bigger bunch of dress, this is going to be quite useful. Alright, so you can see how far the enemies can move. This is how far they can move and not how far they can attack. So these guys have 4 movement here if you just check. So they can move 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces, which is this space. And of course, after they move, they can attack. So if you stay 1 space away from how far they can move, they can still attack you. So I should probably move a bit over here. So I'm out of that range. Oh, they grab the high ground. Yeah, that's actually a bit annoying. But it should be fine. Okay, so we can lock them down and force them to actually have to take attacks from us. And we should probably look at their abilities. As you can see, they actually have the helpless ability, so they can't retaliate because they're holding a big pipe. And they also have the ability to play music, and every faction has a musician unit, and these guys are from Barya, so this is the piper guys, which is our music unit. Of course they're going to have music since this is called Songs of Conquest. And music gives like a bonus to everybody for 1 round, so they're pretty useful to have. Okay, so we can just start punching these guys as much as we want, since they can't really retaliate. Alright, so let's just focus here, I guess. Or should we start firing off some spells? Okay, so right now we have negative 20% damage there from the low ground. You know what? Let's just do the Fury. So we decrease the defense, but we increase our melee offense on all our troops. So now we actually deal a bit more damage. Because our dress just get to take 3 retaliations. They were pretty much stuck there, because if they were to try to move away, we would get a free attack, and if they attack, we get to retaliate before they actually get to do anything. So they were pretty much stuck there. So nice, no losses this time around, and that's definitely what you want to be at. Alright, so we finally got enough experience to level up, and in this game we could actually just close this. And now there's an arrow here, so whenever we want to level up we can do it here. So we're not especially in a hurry to do it, but now we're at least taking the fight. So let's look into leveling up here. So every skill in this game has 3 levels, except command. Command goes up to level 9. Every time you level up, you will always get to pick between the command, one of your skills that can be upgraded in the first slot, and a new skill in the middle. If you have no more skills to upgrade, you will have 2 new skills to pick between here instead. If you max out the command, this is just an empty slot for now. There's no replacement for the command, so the command is kind of like an extra bonus choice you can always take if you don't like the other 2. But alright, we're going to be doing a lot of spells. That's the plan at least. Let's hope if we can actually realize it in the end. So here's one way to increase our spells, is to upgrade our Chaos Magic. We will unlock the tier 2 spells. Or we could just increase our command, which would mean that we have more slots for troops, which means they can generate more essence. So that is also very important to do when we're running a lot of spells. I mean, guard would actually also be pretty good, so we do give our troops some melee resistance, which means they are tankier and the fights take longer, which means we can accumulate more essence during the fights. So that could be very useful as well. Alright, let's check the spells here. So if we were right now, we have the tier 1 spell of everything, and the same goes for these mixed ones. And so for example, the Chain Lightning deals 40 damage because it's the tier 1. And if we were to upgrade this, it would double to 80, and one more would be 120. And the same goes for all of the other things, like the Chaos Step allows us to jump a hex forward, And the upgrade or the tier 2 allows us to jump 2 hexes forward, and so on. And this is negative 25 ranged offense and would increase to 50 and 75. These are a bit more tricky because they are actually a combination of 2 different spell schools. For example, this one is Destruction and Chaos. And these only level up once you have both of the schools at that tier. So these are not going to get upgraded yet, but these might. Alright, you know what, should we just upgrade the Chaos Magic? I mean, we don't have a lot of essence right now. It's not like I've been using a lot of my spells so far. So I think I'm maybe just going to grab Command for now. And I'm going to split off these guys because you actually give me 2 different essences. Alright, so I could do it like this. I pull here and I drag 1 over like that. But there is a much more effective way to do it. So if you can just click on one of the number keys on your keyboard. So if I hover this one and click on the 1 key, I split off a 1. And I could just click on the 2 and split off a 2 instead, and so on. Also, whenever I try to merge troops together, I will get this one, and I need to drag around to how much I want. If I just want to move everything over, I could hold down the control key. And now, so if I were to drag without the control key, it goes like that. If I hold down the control key, it just instantly merges. So some neat shortcuts. So I'm just going to split off one of those, and not that button, this one. We can see that we generate 2, 6, and 2 now. So maybe we'll be able to cast some chaos spells soon. Oh right, I picked up a weapon. I forgot about that. It's 7 offense instead of 4 offense. Oh, I can see an improvement here. So the dagger and the bone club is any slot. Any hand, I should say. So why just I just increase my offense a little bit more? I usually have plus 11 offense. It's pretty good, I guess. Alright, so what do we need to the next level? We're going to need a bunch of stone and wood. And so far I haven't seen any wood or stone mines anywhere around here. So I think it's time to actually start building our own wood production here, so that we can find enough wood. And then I should probably go look into upgrading some of my buildings here. Okay, so these can also be upgraded. So if we pay 2 of the opposite resource and some amber, we can upgrade this one to instead give us 2 wood per round. And let's see here. So if we upgrade this, we get another medium build slot. And the workshop needs some celestial ore, right? I was not in a hurry to grab celestial ores, and I just realized I forgot to grab a wielder as well. Okay, well, there's so much to explain here. It's tricky to do it. Alright, so we can pick any of the other wielders in this game. And of course it is quite tricky to select which one we're going to go with. Most factions has actually one which is pretty suited for being like a secondary wielder and mostly just moving around grabbing stuff. And my favorite to do this is Sought For, because he starts with scouting, so he has 2 extra view radius, which is pretty good. We could also go with, let's see here, I think maybe Mary, you start with learning, so you gain extra experience. This could be quite useful for this. We have initiative. Yeah, you know what, let's grab you. So that means you could level up a bit quicker. Like that, and you also have some useful troops I want to be using. Alright, so we have a fair fight over there. Or we could just, I'm pretty sure this is going to be a simple fight, yeah. About the same as last time. So let's just take this fight, and I'm going to move some of you back. Oh, this is pretty good that they actually split up into more slots this time around. Let's see if the quick battle can do it. Nice, okay, no losses. So I'm just going to accept this to save some time. And we have another large farmhouse claimed, which is perfect. Alright, so let's see here. I think I can move back a little bit. Oh, I should probably grab the fallen beacon power. Oh well. Not too important. Okay, so what kind of troops do I want? I want some more drafts, perhaps. Sure. So you can just click on one of the buildings you want to buy from that, or you can just click on your town and you can draft from all of your buildings at the same time. More spear wielders or more drafts is the question. Now I can get some ranged troops as well. Alright, so maybe I grab those and one of those. Okay. Alright. I should have enough movement. Get over here. Yeah, alright. Here's some reinforcements. Okay, so let's just bunch those together and move everything over. Like that. Alright. And then this is now a simple fight. So I would love to have a gold mine here. So let's see. Here we have some wolves and cutthroats to fight through. Alright. I think that's fine. Let's jump into the battle. Okay, so now we also have some ranged troops, which is going to be nice to have. Okay, these guys are very fast actually. They have stealthy, so they can ignore the zone of control, so they can just walk through. Okay, so but this is pretty nice. I could just take the high ground and finish them off. And because hopefully you saw that there was something popping up on all of my troops. That is momentum. So whenever one of the sides knock out one stack of the enemies, all troops on that side will gain momentum. So since I knocked out one stack here, all of my troops gain one level of momentum. And every level of momentum gives you plus 10 in offense and defense. So it's useful to split off once to generate more essence. But if the opponent actually kills the stack, all of their troops will gain a buff from momentum. So it's a bit tricky to balance it, and sometimes it's better to just focus on taking out some of their smaller stacks to give all of your troops a boost throughout the whole fight. So something to keep in mind at least. Okay, so how far can you move? You can hover over this, but here's a very useful hotkey. So if we hold down the Alt key, we can see how far all of the enemies can move. So now I know that I should probably just hang around here for now. Let's see here. Oh, you can move all the way over here. How much damage do you have? 8 to 11, and I have 30 health. Okay, so I should be able to survive that at least. I was thinking I was going to add some stakes here. So some troops have activatable abilities. Activation abilities cost 1 movement and ends their turn most of the time. And the hotkey is always Q, so you can hold your left hand on Q and E, and you have all the hotkeys you need. And spells are on Wii. Okay. Alright, so I just think I'm going to add some stakes here. Block that space off for them. Okay, so I could go on the offensive here. How many movement do you have? 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. But I think I'm just going to move back for now. Wow, okay. Nice, okay. Now we have these guys. They have reload, so they can only fire every other round. So now they're currently reloading, as you can see, which means that I can't shoot, but I can still melee. And after this turn, no matter what, if I were to actually fight, or if I just move around, I would be fully reloaded for next round. So now they can fire again. And thanks to all of our essence there, we could actually do an onslaught. So I could give you a double attack now. So if you actually were to survive the first attack, we could just continue attacking. Nice. Alright. They're defeated, no losses, and I'm going to grab the gold mine. That's mine. So 500 extra gold. That is actually quite a lot of gold to gain. Oh, this is now a fair fight. Yeah, probably take care of that one as well. But yeah, I think this is a pretty good stopping point. I've been running for about a bit more than 50 minutes. And yeah, I think this is a good stopping point. A lot of information to process, of course, so might be good to just take a short breather here and then get back to the next episode. So yeah, I hope you're enjoying this so far and actually learning a thing or two here and there. I think we're doing pretty well so far. We have been able to expand, but we're only level 2 yet. But hopefully things should be picking up pretty soon. I think I've explained almost all of the major mechanics and gameplay stuff so far. But yeah, if this is helpful, or if there's anything I forgot to mention, make sure to comment down below. Leaving a like and subscribing really helps out a lot for my channel. And yeah, I'll be looking forward to the next episodes. So until next time, have a good one. See ya!